Hi everyone, Melissa here. In today's video, I want to talk about money. I have quite a few money success stories that I have come across this week from clients and people in my life, and I just thought it would be an awesome video to share. So this is all about how to manifest money and some success stories and examples. And if you're interested in money, trying to get more money, trying to change your financial situation, I think this video will really help you. Okay, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to say is manifesting money is just like manifesting anything else. You first want to figure out what is it that you want and what's your current story going on about it. What do you feel is true about your money situation, how money can come to you, how much money is possible for you to have. What are your beliefs about money and how you can get it and if you can get it. Okay, so the first story I want to talk about is this is a client who was really in a desperate place, financially very behind on a bunch of bills and really struggling to make ends meet. And, this was the last hope, was reaching out to us to try to help manifest some money and change that story around. So there was a lot of victim mentality. There was a lot of feeling like, looking at the current circumstances in their physical reality and reacting and just feeling like it was worst case scenario, hopeless. Okay. And constantly noticing that bill collectors were calling, that bills were overdue, that they didn't have enough to buy this or do this. And so it was just a constant barrage of thoughts of, I don't have enough, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. Okay. So what we did was we looked at each one of those beliefs and created an opposing affirmation for it. So an affirmation that tells the opposite of the unwanted story, right? Because you're trying to get your circumstances to show you the opposite. You need to start deciding the opposite is true for you. You need to start believing in your power as a creator and deciding this is how it is now. And a good question to ask yourself, if you're really struggling with money and constantly looking at your circumstances and reacting, ask yourself, why am I reacting so stressed out right now? What am I believing is true right now? And if the only answer you can come up with is I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, there you go. You got to start there. Start there to start changing your story. Okay. So this client, we broke down all these beliefs. She really started getting firm in her mind, getting disciplined in her mind. And every single time a circumstance came up that was exactly opposite of what she wanted, that was confirming that she was broke, she would go to this new story, these new affirmations, and force her mind to think those new affirmations and repeat them and persist in them. And your brain likes persistence and repetition. So the more you do that, the easier, faster your brain's going to accept that new story as truth, and that's when it shows up for you. So every time something came up, she would go to that new story. Every time she just thought about being stressed out about being broke, she'd go to that new story. And this was only like a week ago, I think, when we first communicated. And this client got a notice from work that she was receiving a paycheck earlier than she was anticipating. And the paycheck amount was significantly higher than what she thought she was going to get. She thought she was going to get paid for something, but it was supposed to happen much, much later, like in the month or next month. So not only did she get paid earlier than she expected, but she got paid a higher amount than she expected. And it just completely relieved her of so much of her money stress. So let's pay attention to this. Here's one way money can come to you from a paycheck, right? From income you expect to receive, okay? So that's one source of money. And you're going to notice in all these success stories, every single one of them is a different source of money. And that is a huge point I want to make is be open to how the money shows up for you, because then it can come from absolutely anywhere, anything, anybody. Okay, so look at that. In just a week, this client really, really worked on catching herself when she was saying that old unwanted story. I'm broke. I don't have enough. All my bills are behind. Nope. I always have more than enough. Money flows to me. Money's constantly coming my way, and all those affirmations that supported her, how she is now, how she has money now. And look how fast that money showed up for her. Okay. Another story. Another client had just started working on some money affirmations. We hadn't been talking too much about money in the past, but just recently she started incorporating some money affirmations into her mental diet. So anytime she would think about, oh, I wish I had more money for this, or this is going to be expensive, she would, start to affirm for something better, something that she wanted, which is, I always have more than enough. I can afford whatever I need. I'm just choosing not to buy it right now. I always have money coming to me. Money comes to me from everywhere. And this client got an email telling her that she received a scholarship to a school she just got accepted into. And she didn't even apply for a scholarship. And the type of scholarship it is, her credentials don't even fit the criteria for it. So it's like, against all odds, she got this money. They just told her, hey, guess what? We're giving you this money. Congratulations. Okay. I think it was like $2,000 or something. I'm not sure. Thousands of dollars. Okay. Towards school that she totally did not apply for and was not expecting. But because she started changing her money story, look how that money just showed up for her. Okay. So it's all about recognize what your story is and start to affirm the opposite. Start to decide the opposite is true. Okay. Next story. This is an awesome one too. This client started just recently also incorporating money affirmations into her mental diet, starting to look at her money story and change it around. She was feeling stressed, looking in the process of looking for a new job. So feeling stressed about money, and started affirming, I always have more than enough. My bank account's always increasing. Money is constantly flowing to me. All these different affirmations we worked on, we got into it about the specifics of her situation to help turn her particular story around. So she started affirming and telling a new money story. And so far, since she started that, I think it's maybe been 2 weeks. One of her credit cards emailed her that they increased her credit limit by a few $1,000s. Out of the blue. We know how it happened, but out of the blue, they said that she didn't apply for an increase. It just showed up in her email. Then a family member gave her a good chunk of money because they, that there's another way money can come to you. So she got money from a family member. And a third one was she had the thought to call the company that holds her car loan to ask for them to put a hold on her having to pay for a month while she's in the process of looking for a job. And in that phone call, they said, oh, we don't have to do that. You've actually been overpaying your car payment by a few $100s every month. And so we'll just apply those overpayments. You don't owe us for a couple months. What? How is that possible? Well, you know how it's possible? Because she started deciding that money flows to her. She always has more than enough. Her bills are always covered. Boom. It had to show up there. So see how so far every single one of these places every single one of these ways money has shown up has been different, because that's what's so awesome. It can come from absolutely anywhere, from absolutely anyone, if you will allow it, if you will be open to it. If you are trying to change your money story and you just keep thinking the only way I'm going to get this is from a lotto ticket, you are limiting yourself on how it's going to show up for you. That's not to say you cannot win the lotto, because 1,000,000% absolutely you can. But why only do that? Why not allow money to flow to you from all kinds of places all the time? And it's fun to see it show up when it's something you didn't expect from somewhere, from someone that you didn't expect. So, and then this other client, so this person, they did a favor for a family member, and just because, you know, it was fun for them as well to do it. So they didn't mind. And so they did this favor, and they were not expecting anything in return. There was no conversation about being compensated for it. And out of nowhere, that family member gave them $500. Just because. Thanks for helping me out. Here's $500. So fast, so fast, so fast. It's always about changing your story. If you've been struggling with money for a long time in your life, I promise you, when you start to change your story, your money situation is going to change, but you just have to be open to it. And when we talk about inspired action on this channel, it's not you saying an affirmation and then going to buy a scratch ticket because you decided I'm going to win on that ticket. And that's how this money is going to come to me because I just changed my money story. Because the intention behind that is still coming from lack. It's like, I got to buy this to get the money instead of knowing that you already have it. But inspired action is where you've decreed this new truth. You've affirmed this new truth. You've decided this new truth. I always have tons of money. I always have more than enough. And then you go about living your life and you hold that assumption throughout your day. You maintain that belief. You maintain that assumption. And then maybe you'll just have this random thought, oh, I need to call this place, or, oh, I should look at this online, or, oh, I should go say hello to this person, or, you know, and that is what is the bridge of incidents that ends up getting you your manifestation, but you don't necessarily see it in the moment. And it's an action that's not, it doesn't feel forced. It just feels like, oh, this desire just came to me to do this thing or to say this thing. And so you just followed your intuition, you followed your internal feeling, you followed that gut instinct, whatever you want to call it. And that's what inspired action is. That's how you can tell the difference. You know, inspired action feels light and natural and like, just, I'm going to do this because this is just what I'm doing. And this feels normal and easy and light. Forced action is I'm looking at the 3D. I'm noticing I don't have what I want yet. I'm feeling like I don't have what I want yet. So I'm going to do this to get this result. That's the kind of action you want to try to avoid because you're coming at it from a place of, I still don't have what I want. Okay. And then this last one is so cool. So cool. Okay. So this person, they were also struggling financially a lot. And they also were in the middle of jobs and got behind on their bills and got behind on their house payment. And they were really worried they were going to lose their home. And so they reached out to the mortgage company and we're trying to, this was like a forced action. They were like, oh my gosh, I have to do something about this. What am I going to do? Okay, so they reached out to the mortgage company and they were trying to work on some things to like a payment plan or just some ways to help them. Okay. But in the meantime, before the call ended, that mortgage company recommended this person reach out to 2 other places, government agencies for assistance. Okay. And these are places this person had never heard of. So they just like wrote that down and went on about their day. Okay. And they didn't really do anything about it. And then a few weeks went by and they were started to stress about money again. And they still hadn't heard back about a solution from that mortgage company. So they started thinking about, okay, I got to change my money story. I got to go to these new affirmations. I always have more than enough. My bills are always paid. My mortgage is paid in full. Everything is always taken care of and okay. I always have thousands in the bank, etc. Okay. So after they started feeling better because they were telling that new story and started incorporating that new story in their mental diet, they came across that note that they wrote down with those 2 other agencies. So they're like, oh, I should probably give them a call. So they reached out to those 2 agencies. Okay, long story short, there was not a lot of contact in between the time they reached out and the time the manifestation showed up. So they had to really maintain everything's working out fine. I don't need to check in. I don't need to reach out. My mortgage is paid. Everything's always paid off. Money's constantly flowing to me. Okay. Well, this person, they did what they needed to do with those agencies, filled out what they needed to fill out, waited the time that whatever time it took. They just heard back from one of those agencies, and that agency has told them that they are paying their mortgage for 6 months. They're getting them caught up and ahead for 6 months, and it's free money. This person does not have to pay that money back. They don't have to do something a payment plan, nothing. They don't even have to coordinate it with the mortgage company. This government agency is doing everything. So it's this free relief money. This person just received like thousands and thousands of dollars for their mortgage. And that happened only after they started changing their money story. Okay. So, and now what's so cool about this is this client now can just feel some relief and use that momentum to keep manifesting more money and more money. Because that's one thing that's so awesome about manifesting is when you consciously start to change your thoughts, you consciously start to affirm what you want instead of what you don't, and then you see something show up that equals what you want, you created that. That's the most amazing, impactful success you will ever experience. Way better than seeing somebody else's success story on a video, because it's you. You did it, and you did it. And it's this amazing feeling, and it's empowering because you're like, oh my gosh, if I can do that, I can do anything. And you really can do anything. So to every single one of these clients, oh my gosh, so amazing. I mean, let's look at all those ways money came. Through a credit card, through family members gifting money, through government agency giving free money, to overpaying bill you didn't even know you paid, to getting a scholarship, to getting a paycheck earlier and that was for a larger amount. Look at all the ways money came. Look at all those ways. And probably in every one of those scenarios, those people, they could reverse engineer the manifestation now and see how, oh, that probably would have happened because of that and that and that. But before the manifestation showed up, they would have had no clue that all these things were going to happen. This person didn't know they were going to get a scholarship. They never even applied for it. This person didn't know they were going to for sure get help with their mortgage. They didn't even know that existed when they first had the problem. And then they forgot about it and didn't do anything about it for a while. And then, there was story there going on too about, oh, well, there's people that need help more than me. Maybe they're not going to help me. There's a whole storyline going on there. This other person who got money for doing a favor, maybe they didn't even know they were going to do the favor until 2 days ago. And then all of a sudden they did the favor and then they didn't expect to get money, but they got it. So my point in saying all of this is you never know exactly how everything is going to show up. But if you're open to it, if you're open to just receiving what you want, look how many beautiful ways it can show up. So if you're thinking about your manifestations and you're like, this can only happen in this exact perfect way, you can manifest that, but you are limiting yourself. You're limiting the possibilities. What if it could happen in a different way that is even 20 times more amazing and you would love it 20 times more, but you don't even know you would love it because you're not even open to the possibility of it. So I'm not saying this to say you can't have exactly what you want, because you absolutely can. What I'm saying is, why not get exactly what you want and more and more? So when you're thinking about your money story, what I really want you to hear when I say this is think about and more and more. Come at it from a abundance mentality. Come at it from a, for example, let's say you have an affirmation that's, I make $500 a week. Well, what's the and more to that? How about I make $500 a day? I make $500 a week times 2. I make $500 and then a week, and every week my income doubles. Let's say you are doing a lump sum. I receive $5,000. Okay. I receive $5,000. Well, why not? I receive $5,000 every week, or I receive $5,000 every month, or I receive $5,000 every day. So what's your and more? Try to plus up whatever you are intending, because when we just, when we limit it, that's exactly what we're doing to our experience that we're going to get back. Right. So don't condition it. Don't limit it. Go big, go bigger than you think you can get, because you will be surprised every time. Okay. This person for the mortgage thing, this person only asked for, what they say, 1 or 2 months worth of help. And that government agency ended up giving them 6, way more than they thought. This person that got the car payment thing, they were just going to ask for 1 month worth of help, and they got what, 3 months? Way more than they expected. This person with the paycheck, they were expecting a check, but it was going to be a lot less than that, and at a later date. They got way more than they expected. So see, there's a trend here. You know, if you're open to it and you will just have blind faith in your new story, you decide you get it, you're going to get more than what you intended. It's the beauty of it. So I wanted to share all these stories with you because, one, I thought it was so cool to see so many money stories coming in recently. And two, a lot of these happened super fast. These people just started changing their money story, just started new affirmations. And three, look at all the different ways it came in. Like, that's awesome. So awesome. And so much more is just going to keep rolling in. So, and as you get these showing up, write them down, because in moments where you're doubting your power, look at these, it's going to build you right back up again, because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I never thought that would ever happen. I never thought I could create that. I never thought money would come to me from there. So I hope that this was inspiring to you, to all these people, to all these clients that I talked about. Awesome job. Keep it up. I can't wait to see more success stories rolling in, because I know they will, because look at what you've created already. It's so awesome. And if you would like some help with your specific money situation, one, I'm available for one-on-one coaching. I would love to meet you and help you. We can dig into what you're specifically telling yourself is your story about money and break that all down and flip it all around and get that money coming to you. And two, I do have a course for money specifically. It's a 14-day money mental diet challenge. It will really help you start to recognize what is your money story, start to identify what is your money story, and keep you accountable to change it, change it. Okay? Because this is a lifestyle. And once you get into the swing of manifesting what you want and, you know, consciously being aware of your thoughts, easy. This is the way you're going to want to live your life. And you can do this for every area in your life. So I intend this video helped you. If you guys have any money success stories, I would love to see them in the comments, because it is so cool to see people manifesting money, and it will inspire everyone on the channel and help them. You know, everybody's success is, you know, a positive example, and it can give some people hope that maybe are feeling a little bit hopeless right now in terms of their finances. So you can get out of whatever hole you feel like you're in financially. You can get rid of debt. Oh, that just reminded me of one more story. I have another client who had a bunch of debt and was just tired of it. And so they started affirming, I'm debt free. I'm so relieved. All my debt is gone. I'm financially secure. I always have tons of money. All my bills are always paid, etc. So now this is what I mean by being open for it to come from anywhere, because for a long time, this person just thought, oh, I need to get a lump sum of money in order to pay this debt off. And so that's the only way they were allowing for it to show up. And so as they started to be more relaxed on that, they ended up getting the contact information for debt consolidation or settlement type of company. And it turned out that this company could help them, and they totally flipped their whole financial situation in less than 24 hours. I got approved for this wonderful program, and this company is going to take care of everything. This client doesn't have to worry about contacting any of those debtors anymore or paying a bunch of different places. And it was a huge relief to them. So again, in one day, their financial situation completely changed, and their debt became not a burden anymore. And they could breathe again because they started to change their story. So be open to the possibility that it can change for you. Start to decide something new is true for you. Stop wondering if it can happen and start deciding it's true now. Okay? All right. I think that's it for this video. Put your money comments and stories and questions in the YouTube comments, because we read those and we love to know what's going on with you and what you want to know about. If you guys are interested in coaching or courses, the link will be in the description of this video. And I will see you in the next one.